Next up on the Cosmic News Network, First Contact with Joshua Put.
Good morning, Earthlings. Good. How you doing today? Good. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Welcome to First Contact Radio. To talk about all these things I'm talking about is because in life, everything is energy. Every single thing that's out there.
Yo, it's First Contact with Joshua Poe. He's the man on the mic, just in case you didn't know it. Covering news from all around the globe, from the weather and space to UFOs. We'll talk politics and make you open your eyes. Conspiracy theories and government lies. We'll dig it all up and try to find the proof. Cause the time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have
time to demand the truth. It's time.
First Contact Radio. We have live.
Good morning, Earthlings. How you doing today? Welcome to First Contact Radio. Glad you're back each and every day. It's good to be here. I like doing the shows, you know. It's fun to get up in the morning, get the day started, knowing what's going on. So what's going on today? It's the last day of the month of September. How about that? We're just moving right along in this year. 30th of September, we could see that our moon sign is in Taurus. We know that our sun sign is in Libra. So the two signs we're looking at today, and I always like to look at them in relation to the tarot because they're all connected. This helps you understand. Libra is about justice. Libra is about balance. It's about two things. You have two characters, one on either side, and it's about balancing them out. So anytime where you have two things that balance out, you have justice that can be applied. Okay, so you're learning to balance out relationships, things that we do whenever we do activities. There's the cause and the effect. So there's the two things. We want to balance them out. Okay, so this is all what Libra is about, learning to develop relationships, make connections, clean up our karma so that we can move forward in a efficient manner. And it's an air sign. So because it's an air sign, it's in the mind. It's dealing with the mental plane. It's always important when we look at these astrological signs to understand what element they're working with, because if it's working with one element and we think it's with another, then we might not understand completely what it's all about. Our moon sign for today, the Taurus, is the tarot card of the Hierophant. Hebrew letter Va means nail or hook, and the whole idea is hooking the spirit together with the physical. The spiritual world, you hook it together to the physical world. That way the physical world can operate better. Otherwise, we go around in the physical world thinking this is all there is, Earth. But we have the fire, the water, and the air that precedes the Earth and puts it all together. So we need to have some sort of order, spiritual connection to keep us reminded. And that allows us and helps us so we can stay in better balance with everything we're doing. Okay, so those are the two signs of today. As we get into the morning, we just had an aspect where Jupiter is expanding out the ideas of Taurus. Taurus brings with us goodness, beauty, things of the earth that are pleasurable. So these ideas expand outward. 9:38 a.m. the Sun and Taurus are going to be conjunct. So what that will mean here is we just go find the Sun, and there's our Gemini right there, conjunct right next to each other. So they're both in this house, hanging out together, having a conversation. It's a house of Libra. So they're talking about balance. They're talking about karma. Okay, Mercury wants to be able to communicate things. The Sun wants to be able to have a nice, good balance in the way things are operating. 10:54 a.m. Pluto, deep transformation, along with Taurus. As we get into the evening, 7:42 p.m., Chiron, the wounded healer, the part of us that needs to have that healing, is affected and is in a sextile with Taurus. So bringing that nice earthly grounding energy to what it is we're going through. On the Jewish calendar, today is 17 Tishri. 17 Tishri. It is the third day of the festival of Sukkot, otherwise known as the Feast of Tabernacles. is also the same week that Yeshua, otherwise known as Jesus, was born. You can follow the timeline throughout the Bible to find the exact time period, which is now. So this is a celebration of Jesus' birthday sometime this week. So happy birthday, Jesus. Daily thought for today is, what can I fix? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai hid from the Romans in a cave for 13 years. There he was visited by heavenly beings, Elijah the prophet, even Moses. It was there that he composed the Holy Zohar. When he left the cave and came to a town, he did not say, "Let me enlighten you with inner light of Torah," the light that has been hidden ever since 6 days of creation. He says, "What is there in your town that I can fix?" Whatever knowledge a human being is given in the world, whatever wisdom, enlightenment, or inspiration, it is all only and exclusively for one purpose: to assist him to fix up this world. So we're all here to assist the great creator in fixing the world. Mayan Oracle, 11-tone day. 11 tones are the tones where we dissolve the energy, like dropping salt or sugar into a glass. So we're dissolving the energy of enlightenment. As we've gone through this way spell of the dog, learning to remain loyal and express the love. The storm is our like-minded energy. This love is our challenge for today. Nurturing ourselves is our hidden power, and enlightenment is our guide. The phrase for today is, I dissolve in order to enlighten, releasing life. I seal the matrix of universal fire with the spectral tone of liberation. I am guided by my own power doubled. The moon phase is 91% of the way full. It's making its way back down to a new moon. We've got a little less than 2 weeks till we get there, but it's a still pretty good sized moon if you're able to get out and about in the evenings to check it out. Solar winds at 313.1 kilometers per second. Planetary K index looks like it's quiet today in 1. Nothing much of coronal holes. Directly facing us, M-class flare possibilities at 7. X-class is at 25. So 70 and 25. So chance we might have something is pretty good. Mid-latitudes, 25%. High latitudes, 30%. And up in the sky tonight, Vesta, the brightest asteroid, excuse me, wrong day. As the stars come out, Cassiopeia is already higher in the northeast now than the sinking Big Dipper in the northwest. The right side of Cassiopeia's broad W pattern tilts upward. All right, so that's the energy we're dealing with today. The cosmic weather. It's a mental day. It's mental because we have Libra. Libra's a sign. It's an air sign, so it has to do with air, the words we speak, the actions we take. Remember, we're still in a Mercury retrograde, so we want to just kind of pay attention. Take that extra moment to make sure we're thinking out what it is we want to say. Dotting those I's, crossing those T's. That's all we really need to do. Just make sure Mercury retrogrades aren't such heavy-duty periods of time. They're mental times, times when the mind is affected, and those who are walking around in the world, which is everybody, is affected by it. But it doesn't mean we stop things. We just know when the periods of time are, when we're crossing over from a direct phase to retrograde, and then when we're going back. Other than that, if we know what element is being affected, then we know how we can move through life. And that's what it's really all about. What elements are we working with, and how do we use them? UFO News is up next.
This is the UFO News with Joshua Poet.
All right, Dirk. Thank you very much. So, UFO News for today. First story is glowing UFOs seen over the ocean at Vero Beach, Florida, September 25th. Nice, good, colorful images right there. Glowing images, obviously, with a filter on so you can see a little bit better what's going on there. These UFOs were coming out of the ocean when they got to a safe height above the water. They powered up. It's not the first time this happened at Vero Beach, but one of many. Again, back on January 27, 2015, a group of UFO watchers waited for the daily show of UFOs. Check out the video below to be blown away. It's proof that alien base exists off the shores of Vero Beach. So the object appeared over the ocean and hovered approximately 3 to 4 minutes, glowing as attached video indicates. There were two craft and then disappeared after film stopped. We live in Vero Beach, Florida, approximately 60 miles south of Cape Canaveral. When my wife Kathy observed the lights, she grabbed her HD camera, filmed the attached video. Both yesterday before the sighting and today, military helicopters were on the scene several times up and down the beach area. Okay, very cool. Very cool indeed. Now we move over to New Hampshire, over a shopping mall parking lot in Concord. Their object in question certainly looks like something more than just clouds. It looks like a V-shaped object, yeah, V-shaped with a number of lights on it. It says Mike Giarto posted this latest sighting on Facebook. 3-minute plus video shot above the Home Depot area of the plaza just after 7 p.m. 21st of September. Vero started in the recording when he was unable to see the orbs with the naked eye. When he was looking through the camera, he could see the orbs clearly. Video shot after the sun was setting and dusk began to set in. He noticed that he and his wife had irregularly taken photos of the sunrise, but never seen anything like this before. Okay, good capture. Very good video. Good UFO capture. Next story. Top secret files could prove that aliens do exist. The staff at the UFO Museum spooked top FBI agents after allegedly discovering a secret memo establishing aliens exist. The unfolding of the Haiku Center for UFO Research in Japan brought some concerns to federal officials after museum workers found a document suggesting the FBI obtained 3 metallic saucer objects. According to the memo, each object has 3-foot-tall occupants. The U.S. government reportedly keeps files around the museum, creating a craze of conspiracy theories. According to a report circulated online, the alleged flying saucers had been found in New Mexico. These things are described as being 50 foot in diameter, with raised centers. Each one has 3 human-shaped bodies, but shorter at 3 feet tall, dressed in metallic cloth. The memo reportedly blackened the name of Mr. Informant, who said the government set up a very high-powered radar in New Mexico where the saucers were found. It is believed that the mechanism of the saucers went crazy after the radar affected the saucer's controlling mechanism. Okay, very interesting. Flight attendant films UFO from jet over Memphis, Tennessee. I have a video that's 1 minute 59 seconds in length. That's all we have. No further descriptions. We do see the object in question here, which is right there. And that's mainly what we've got here. Just the flight attendant filming the UFO over the jet. Okay. Next, amazing triangle-shaped UFO above Slovenia. It's 2 days ago, the 28th. All right, new amazing footage of a triangle-shaped UFO above Slovenia. There it is. Looks like a triangle, kind of like what we saw in the last one, except without, with more lights on. The other one didn't quite have so many lights. Good video capture. And one last story, the most important man in U.S. government searching for extraterrestrials. As a kid growing up in Houston, John Culberson wanted to be an astronaut, but he had flat feet, bad eyes, and no math moves. As he puts it, he went into politics instead. Now, as a conservative Republican congressman and the chair of the House subcommittee responsible for funding NASA, Culberson is getting a second chance to plot the course of the nation's space policy, and his fascination with finding life in space could reshape NASA's priority. Culberson has dramatically increased funding for NASA's mission to Europa, the Jupiter moon, that experts believe could support extraterrestrial life. Last week, he passed a budget through the House that funded $140 million for the plan, more than 4 times what President Obama requested. We're cutting funding for other NASA projects such as satellites and studying climate change. The Tea Partier, who seems to have never publicly said a positive word about Obama and who has kept a deep passion for states' rights, Culberson is just as excited about planetary physics as the 10th Amendment. God's genius is evident in the perfection of his creation all around us, Culberson told Fusion this week. We see it in the solar system. We see it in carbonaceous meteorites, in the spectrographic analysis of asteroids, in the spectrographic analysis of nebula. It's just self-evident. I'm absolutely confident that the good Lord has seeded life throughout the universe, Culberson said, and now he wants to find that life. Europa, which was first discovered by Galileo in 1610, is covered by a global ocean 100 kilometers deep and a thick layer of ice on top of that. It contains 2 to 3 times the volume of liquid over the Earth, water that is of similar chemical composition to the Earth's oceans. All right, more about it, who he is, what he's trying to do. But it's always good to know when someone's out there trying to expose things. Will it happen? I don't know. We'll see. The public wants to know, the public should know, but the media wants us to pretend that we don't know. And the politicians, well, they just deny. All right, that is what's up with the UFOs for today. Let's jump away for a minute. I'll be back. I've got some more stories for you. Stay tuned. This is Great Spirit.
Come into our circle, Great Spirit. Fill our souls with peace.
I'm back. So I've got some good random news stories for you. But random news stories all kind of fit in. We just add it as a dot. We'll see if it connects to anything else that we're doing. So here we have a story. Largest Obamacare healthcare co-op is going to close. Who could have seen this coming? The financial benefits and savings touted by Obama and his allies on the road to Obamacare's passage are still failing to live up to the promise. In fact, the largest nonprofit co-op created under the law is about to fold. Regulators to shut down Health Republic Insurance of New York. Regulators will shut down Health Republic Insurance of New York, the largest of the nonprofit corporations created under the Affordable Care Act, in the latest sign of the financial pressures facing money insurers that participants in the law's new marketplace. The insurer lost about $52.7 million the first 6 months this year, on top of a $77.5 million loss in 2014, according to regulatory filings. The move to wind down its operations was made jointly by the officials from the Federal Centers of Medicare and Medicaid Services, New York State Insurance Exchange, known as New York State of Health, and the New York State Department of Financial Services. In a statement, Health Republic said it was deeply disappointed by the outcome and pointed to challenges placed on the U.S. on us by the structure of the co-op program. Health Republic has about 215,000 members, with about half holding individual plans and half under small business coverage. The regulators said that they chose to take action before the exchange's November open enrollment period, when individuals could choose coverage with a new insurer. Okay, so, geez, who could have seen this coming, right? Who would have known? I mean, when you have someone who has zero experience in creating things, he didn't build it, Obama didn't build this, this is what happens. When you have a man who is in office and his wife allegedly had her law license taken away for insurance fraud, you start to think that maybe there's something a little funny about a program like this. Shh, don't tell anybody that that's out there. We don't want people looking and actually thinking for themselves, so we'll just keep it a secret. All right, here's an interesting story. Chinese scientists engineer a teeny tiny pig so they can sell them as pets. So-called teacup pigs are marketed as cute, conveniently sized pets, but when they grow up, their owners are surprised when they balloon to their adult weight of hundreds of pounds. Now, scientists at BGI Shenzhen, China, are using cutting-edge genetic manipulations to create micropigs that may actually stay tiny and adorable. They originally created the pigs as lab animals to study human diseases, but on September 23rd, look at that, 9/23, BGI announced that the world would start selling the pigs as pets. The micropigs will weigh only about 30 pounds as adults, and they will be priced at $1,600. How about that? So if you want a mini pig, China has them. Mini pigs, mini pig. Get your mini pigs here. All right. Bet they won't sell too many of those in Muslim countries, though. I don't think they'll go for the mini pigs over there. Do you think? What do you think? Yes? No? It's just a question. I'm not being racist. I'm just asking a question. All right, you know the Common Core program that's out there? Well, check this out. This dad wrote a check to his kid's school using Common Core math. Common Core math. Now implemented in 46 states, their controversial standards have had parents crossing their eyes in confusion and frustration since the day it was introduced. Many parents have taken to social media to share their disdain for the new standards. But one Ohio dad showed his kid's school how far removed from real application he feels Common Core is, in a way that's sure to get their attention. He challenged them to take it to the bank. The donations check to Meldridge Elementary was written out according to a long-form Common Core standard, which anyone old enough to work at a bank would have to learn from scratch before cashing the check. So, what you want about Congressman Core, but that's what one hell of a sick dad. Oh, blah, blah. Okay. So anyway, as you can see here, that's not him. Trying to get away from. There we go. Let's get away from that guy. He's in a TV show, I know. Okay, so here we go. We got the check. He did the Common Core math, and he put the answer here with a little box describing how they got to it. I think that's hilarious because they pose this is an awesome program, and maybe if people start actually seeing the application of it, they'll say, what is this? We can't cash this. So hopefully we'll hear more about this story. All right, moving on. Another piece here that's quite interesting is that new information has been found in King Tut's tomb. New inspection of King Tut's tomb reveals secret chambers. New inspection of King Tutankhamun's famed haunted tomb has given further credence to one archaeologist's theory that it was actually designed for Nefertiti, a mysterious and powerful possible pharaoh who may also have been Tut's mother. National Geographic reports archaeologist Nicholas Reeves, who embarked on the re-inspection on September 28th, found evidence of two previously unnoticed doorways, believing Nefertiti may lie behind one of them. Reeves examined the most minuscule details to determine his original theory. He may have some substance to it. He looked at the lines in the ceilings of the walls and found matches between the two, which suggests that a room was indeed a corridor. That is, there may not only been a wall and a space was plastered to separate the rulers' tombs. He also noticed a difference in textures and firmness of the plastering, meaning the area where he suspects there's a doorway that was built after the original wall. In addition to the archaeological findings, Reeves believed touch burial objects were meant for a woman. They came to the conclusion that an estimated 80% of the burial equipment has been made for somebody else, for a woman, he said, after the tomb visit. Reeves' hypothesis came from years of studying various tombs and goods. Basically, the whole tomb could have been planned out for Nefertiti, but given to Tut upon his untimely death. New evidence combined with Reeves' existing theory likely means further excavation. There's one catch: a priceless wall painting covers the suspected doorway. Reeves must not figure out how to get behind it without destroying the artifact. The first step is to use radar and thermal imaging to see how much he can see behind the wall before breaking through. Once he is certain, he's currently considering getting a tiny fiber optic camera through the wall without much damage, or seeking Japanese conservators who specialize in removing wall paintings. All right, pretty interesting indeed. So, they're thinking they found a couple of secret doorways here to lead someplace else. All right, computer algorithm created to encode human memories. So we're hearing about the DARPA program. Well, researchers in the U.S. had developed an implant to help disabled brain encode memories, giving new hope to Alzheimer's patients and wounded soldiers who cannot remember the past. The prosthetic, developed by the University of Southern California Wake Forest Baptist Medical Center and a decade-long collaboration, includes a small array of electrodes implanted into the brain. The key to the research is a computer algorithm that mimics the electrical signaling used by the brain to translate short-term into permanent memories. This makes it possible to bypass the damaged or diseased region, even though there is no way of reading a memory, decoding its content, or meaning from its electrical signal. It's like being able to translate from Spanish to French without being able to understand either language. The prosthesis has performed well in tests on rats and monkeys. Now it is being evaluated in human brains. The team told the International Conference of the International Engineering in Medicine and Biology Society in Milan. It's funded by DARPA. Okay, here we go, DARPA, the United Defense Advanced Research Project, which is interested in new ways to help soldiers recover from memory loss. So DARPA's the one doing the brain program. Now we hear that DARPA, their program, has an implant that can go in the brain, store memories. So every day the plot thickens. Big Brother has a new way to do things. And very interesting indeed. Very interesting. Never a dull moment down here in the earth. All right, a couple more stories. I thought this one was quite fascinating here. It says that Russia issues grave warning, prepare to defend Earth, fallen angels have returned. An extraordinary report prepared by the military scientific community of the Armed Forces, MSC, on the just completed trials of the Alzheimer's Antri high-energy laser-directed energy weapon system projected by the 27th Central Research Institute, states that their immediate disbursement to Federation allies India, China, and Brazil is needed to defend our planet against interdimensional entities that could soon attempt to recapture Earth. Important to note about this report are that the references to interdimensional entities contained in it date back to the Great Patriotic War, when the Soviet intelligence services confirmed the German Nazi regime's existing communication link with what can only be described as fallen angels or demons, but which our planet's oldest written records refer to as gods. These fallen angels, demons, this report again explains, were once vanquished from our Earth about 5,000 to 6,000 years ago in what was referred to by the ancients as the Great Overturning that nearly instantly froze millions of woolly mammoths of Siberia, destroyed a vast city-state known as Atlantis, and is recorded in the stories, religions, and legends of our planets as the Great Flood. Most importantly, however, to have been destroyed by the Great Overturning, the report continues, was the main geographical and inhabited on the Earth by these fallen angels located from the Indian subcontinent to the Himalayan mountain range to what is now present Ukraine, and whose human offspring were known as the Aryan race. Two major Sanskrit epics of the Indian tale, the Mahabharata and the Ramayana, This report explains and fully detailed the interactions of these fallen angels, demons, with the Aryan race, including their use of their Vimana air space vehicle, described as an apparatus which can fly by its own force from one place or globe to globe, verifying this incredible ancient claim of the power of the Vimana to not only traverse our own planet but those of others. The report says can be found in the symbol of these fallen angel demons, called the swastika, being discovered all over the earth, including prior to World War II, when the soldiers of the United States 45th Infantry Division proudly wore the symbol prior to the rise of Nazi Germany. Okay, long story here. Long story. But it's not the first time we've heard something like this. We understand about fallen angels. It's funny, the highest, I don't know if it's funny, not funny, haha, but ironically funny, that the highest manned outpost of the United Nations happens to be in the same location where the fallen angels landed, according to the book of Revelation and the book of Enoch. So very strange, very strange. Here's a study that says human consciousness survives after biological death. J.D. Hayes. There have been a number of theories, some based on religious principles, some on philosophical ones, about what happens to our souls when we die. Many people of various religious faiths, for example, believe there is a heaven or another pleasant life after for those who have led good, virtuous, and moral lives on earth. But scientists have largely rejected such claims, mostly because science relies principally on documentable and replicable proof. Now, when it comes to human consciousness after the body dies, there's a different thing altogether. With that in mind, a group of researchers in Southampton University in the United Kingdom recently conducted the largest ever study about what happens to consciousness after death. The team concluded that while it is not known why or how, there nonetheless appears to be some consciousness and awareness for some time after physical death has occurred. That suggests consciousness and the body are intertwined in some fashion, but they may travel down a separate non-physiological path after what humans describe as death. The research was led by Dr. Sam Parina, and the study has been published in the medical journal Resuscitation. The study involved more than 2,000 people who had suffered a cardiac arrest in UK, United States, and Austria. All right. In the last part of the article, in the end, Parina said he believes that contrary to perception, death is not a specific moment, but a potentially reversible process that occurs after any severe illness or accident causes the heart, lung, and the brains to cease functioning. So more to the article, read it. Interesting studies on what's going on in the world with health and so on. Always important, life and death, what's taking place. Here's something I thought you might want to just add to your mix. This is what happens when you eat 5 walnuts and wait 4 hours. New research shows that eating just a handful of nuts per day provides immediate protection against heart disease. Regular intake would provide permanent protection. Researchers also show a significant improvement in cholesterol levels and flexibility of blood vessels, which is vital for healthful blood flow, just 4 hours after people ate nuts or nut oil. We should all be including walnuts in our daily diets because the regular consumption protects against many types of cardiovascular disease due to their effect on the serum cardiovascular risk factors. And only by consuming a handful of nuts or walnut oil for 4 days in a week can you significantly reduce the risk of heart disease, says Dr. Penny Chris Etherton, professor of nutrition at Penn State University. Okay, so there you go. If you need to increase your body's protection, get some walnuts. They're not just for squirrels. They're for us, too. We like walnuts. Okay, Warrior of Light, page 117. Actually, make that page 118 for today. We did 117 yesterday. The Warrior of the Light listens to Lao Tzu when he says that we should let go of the days and hours in order to pay more attention to the moment. Only in this way can he resolve certain problems before they occur. By focusing on the small things, he manages to avoid larger calamities. But thinking about the small things is not the same as thinking small. Over-anxiety ultimately banishes every trace of joy from life. The warrior knows that the great dream is made of many different things, just as the light from the sun is the sun of millions of rays. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and exhale. Take another deep breath, and exhale again. And another breath, and exhale. Now let's just imagine ourselves walking down a path. It's dark. We can't really see where we're going. So we turn our attention inward to the inner light, and we imagine that light shining brightly through our body, and then glowing as it moves past our body out into the room. And we imagine the room, the place where we are, filled with light. The path that we are walking on can be seen clearly now. And so we continue to walk this path, being led by the light that shines within us, shining out into the world. And as we walk through the world, let's just observe all that is taking place. And let's keep our attention on the places where there is darkness. And as we see darkness, let's just imagine sending some of our light over there to light that area. And the more of the darkness that is illuminated, the more the people walking in the darkness begin to see. And as they see, they make better choices and decisions. And people are in a much calmer place because as they begin to see and understand, they realize what is truly taking place. For once the darkness is removed, the veil of illusion is lifted. So let us imagine simply walking through the world today, observing all that takes place and sending out light to illuminate the dark. Let the subconscious mind continue on that journey, and let's bring the conscious mind back to the present moment on the count of 3. 3, coming back to the present moment filled with confidence. 2, coming back to the present moment filled with faith. And 1, coming back to the present moment happy, healthy, and whole. Happy, healthy, and whole. Take another deep breath. Exhale, and open your eyes. That's it today, my friends. That's the show. I want to thank you very much for being here. I'll be back tomorrow with more news and information as we start a new month, October. September has come to an end. If you're celebrating the festival of Sept, continue on with the time in the Sukkah and just remembrance of the trust that we have for God and how that trust is rewarded to us by simply trusting God. I'll be back tomorrow. Have an awesome day. I love you. Keep loving each other. Peace. I'm out of here.